First of all, I repeat it again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. After a long time, I'm really excited and delighted to be in front of these awesome faces. And that's why these very cherished moments, even right now it's 9:10. So some others could be at home, some others could be chilling, some others could be playing video games, doing other stuff. But I want us really to get out of these moments that we'll spend together, the must possible benefit that we can really get out of. So first of all, I'll ask you right now, the subject, as you saw in the title, it's something that's really intriguing, something that's really important. Each and every one of us is touched by this subject. Who is Allah to you? Who is Allah to me? It's really important. So from now, let's ensure that we have our phones away. We have right now our hearts, ears ready and open. Not to look and listen to the words that I'll say. No, just to dive deeper in our minds and in our hearts. So, it's a very good question. Very important question. Who is Allah to you? So, if I want to find out the best person that can give me this response, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself. And in the Qudsi hadith, what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell us? Ana inda dhanni abdi bi. What does that mean? That means I am as my servant or my creation think of me. He's telling you the response. Whatever you think of me, I'll be to you. Why am I choosing this subject? Why I think it's really important and crucial for each and every one of us. Me first. Why? Some days ago, I heard something that really blew my mind. From who? Is it from someone who doesn't know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? No, from someone who says La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. So what were those words that came out of the Muslim's mouth? So after several events and trials in life for that specific person, may Allah give him and all of us hidayah. What did he say? He was in so many trials, he was in so many tribulations in his life. He was actually living so many difficulties in every angle of his life. What did he say? He said it in French, and I'll say it in the same manner. I'm just quoting. Mais Allah, mais c'est pas juste. Pourquoi moi? Did you hear me? What did he say? Oh Allah, c'est pas juste. Pourquoi moi? Astaghfirullah al-azim. So at this point, what does this tell us? Before I really dive into who is Allah to each and every one of us, I want to give you some specific analogies that would help us understand where I'm going. Who among us here has his mother waiting for him? Has his mother or father? Good. So now imagine after we leave this place, you go outside, you go to your mother, you hop in the car with your mom, and your mom start driving, but not the same way that she's driving to your house. You know the road to your house, it's 9:30 or 9:45, and your mom starts taking another way, even outside the city. And you start wondering. You start asking the question, Mom, where are we going? And what is the response that comes from your mom? I know, it's okay. Just wait. So at this point, if you put yourself in that position, let's see, what would be the response? Will you just say that, oh, it's okay, it's mom? Or will you even try to call 911 and say, hey, I'm afraid my mom's taking me somewhere I don't know, and I'm afraid for my peace, I'm afraid for my health, let me do something. What will you do? What is the correct response at that point? You will just say, it's okay. Why? Who can just tell one single reason in one word why we wouldn't panic at that point of time? Why? In a word? Thank you. Jazakallah khair. It's one word. Trust. So at this point, if you look at the person that you trust, it's your mom. Just because of that trust, because of that knowing that intention that this person will never harm you, this person will always have the best intention for you, this person has the knowledge to take care of you, you're in peace. She just told you, wait. Even though you don't know, you're tired, you want to go home. But you know that you're in the best hands. That's the first analogy. The second analogy that I want to also drive with us today here. A person goes to the hospital, he's not feeling well, and then he sits with the doctor after some diagnosis. He would actually be told, sorry sir, or sorry ma'am, you're actually having a very serious illness, and at this point you need to go straight into surgery right away, no delay. So at this point, if we look, at this point, if any one of us was positioned in front of such a situation, before I continue, I can say, who's a medical doctor here? I imagine. So imagine at this point, what would be the response? The person will say, no, I will not go into surgery right now. I would need to understand every motion, every action, every single step in the way to tell me what are you going to do in the operation room. That's when I'll tell you if you can do my surgery or not. Who would say that? Who? Nobody. Why? Because at this point, number one, we have trust in what? In the knowledge of that person, that person studied at least for 10, 12 years, and then also was practicing for 10, 12 years. So with that accumulation of the experience, you would trust the person, say, no, they know their job, but I wouldn't know. The second time, I would come and talk about what? Intentions. So two words, we'll come back to them at the end. But look at these two analogies, and subhanallah, at this point, imagine if someone jumping right now and saying this to his mom, no, mom, you will not continue before I understand, or I know. Or the other person that will come to the doctor and say, no, I want to understand what you're going to do in the operations room before I go in. We find that illogical. Now everybody said like Bichara, how that's not possible. Subhanallah, if that's the point, we're talking about the creation, we're talking about your mother, that's limited. We're talking about the doctor, that's also limited. But at this point, you gave your full trust. You didn't even worry for a single second. And when it comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who is unlimited, we want to start doubting? We want to start saying, oh no, we need to understand. No, I need to really know why this is haram, why this is permissible, why this is wajib. I need to know exactly every single step of the way. Or any time that I go into face a wall in my life, I would say, why, pourquoi moi? Is this the right approach? No. Why is it? Because we really do not know who is Allah to us. Allah gave us the response. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Qudsi hadith, Ana inda dhanni abdi bi. I am exactly what you expect me to be. I am exactly what you expect me to be. So, at this point, let's look. If you look at the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of them will hear what? Al-Alim, which means what? The all-knowing. Al-Hakim, the most wise. So let's compare right now. Let's see. Isn't it really impolite from us to trust creation and to come to a point where we face anything in life and right away drop the ball on what we don't understand? I would love to take it to a different extent to make us really understand what is the value of knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who had a medical shot in his life? Injection. Everybody, right? Good. So I'll drive the same example with three people. At first, with a 6 months old boy. Secondly, with a 10 years old. Thirdly, with an adult who's 21. And let's see what's the difference. A 6-month-old was taken to the hospital by his mother or father. So at this point, before giving him the shot, the mother or the father are just even saying thank you, because they know that this injection, this shot will inflict some pain, but still they know the benefit of this. They know the outcome of this shot. Momentarily, it hurts. And what would be the feeling of that kid at that point of time? The child will be crying. The child will be angry. Why? That immediate pain that he's going through, he or she. But they don't know the benefit that this would bring them. That's why the father at that point or the mother would be saying to the doctor, thank you. We understand. We know. Let's go to the second level, which is 10 years old. At that point, you can talk to that child that's 10 years old. You can tell him or her, hey, yes, I know it's painful. I know it's something that would inflict this pain right now, but it's something that would protect you in the long run. You're in pain now. It will remove all this suffering that you're going through. At this point, the kid would understand, yes, it would be painful. He would just have the first level of trust, which is trusting the intentions. He knows his father or mother or the person who's talking to him. But still, he doesn't have the deep understanding of why that pain. But if we go to a full-grown man, 21 years old, and you go to the doctor, you're sick, you're not feeling well, and they tell you the solution for you is this injection. What will happen? You know that it's painful. You know that you will take that shot, but you might take it smiling and saying, thank you. Jazakallah khair. It's painful, but you know for sure, certainly that after the grace of Allah, that this is something that would help you heal. If you do this with the doctor, if you do this with the human being, why not do it with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We think that we are here, we created just to go through pain, to go through trials of life. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He's high above all analogies. At this point, He is the one who's applying this operation in your life. You're getting prepared. You're having this pain. You're having this turmoil in your life. You're having all these difficulties, hardships. Everyone would go through something. But this is just a preparation phase. The pain that you'll go through that will take you out of the sickness where you are. Take you to where you want to go. You need to understand that it's a phase that you'll go through. But who would understand that? That adult, the one that said thank you. But now majority of us, or I can say all of us, we are acting just like that baby here at the beginning. What is that baby saying? He's just angry and crying. He doesn't understand. He doesn't talk. He doesn't know what's going on. The baby is just worried about one thing, which is what? The pain of that shot. So that shot is there. The baby is crying. He doesn't know what is going on around him. All his worry is that pain. We need to all take ourselves to the third level where we really understand, because your reactions depend fully on your understanding. The level of your understanding will determine how you would react. Would you react like that baby, like that boy that said what? That said, oh Allah, pourquoi? Pourquoi c'est moi? He's just that baby. He doesn't have that level of understanding. If we really took ourselves from that point, we came to the point where we know exactly that this pain is actually coming with the best intention, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more compassionate with us than our own mothers. But still we trust our mothers, but we still doubt. We're still not sure that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is actually preparing everything in this earth for us. So lastly, I'll give one simple example that happened to me. Sometimes, subhanAllah, you don't know. You don't know what Allah will put in your life. You do not know. I'll give you an example. A very quick example here. Before I talk about the year, from the year 1998, I started practicing a sport called Taekwondo. It's a martial art. And from the year 2006, I took it really as a passion. I want to do something with that sport. So I started in the year 2010 preparing seriously on working towards the Olympics. 2014, 2 months before the last competition that will give me 40 points that will qualify me to the Olympics representing my country, what happened? This happened. Suddenly I broke my arm. 2 weeks. 2 weeks from going to a competition that I was guaranteed to win. Get a medal, right away, straight up Olympics. Whew. I cried so hard at that point. I didn't understand why. I'm just 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away, 15 days. Why? Everybody around me started like panicking, like, subhanAllah, why? We didn't know. I was looking after these 2 weeks when my colleagues, they were traveling actually to that competition. I was crying deeply. Why? Because I did not understand. I was that baby. 3 years afterwards, 2017, an event happened. An event came to the surface that showed me, that actually surprised me and taught me that lesson for life. At that point, I pulled back and said, Subhan al-Khaliq, Alhamdulillah. This hand was not broken because actually I don't deserve the Olympics. Allah saved me. The time is not enough for us to mention exactly how I saw that, how I really understood how Allah saved me. But I understood it at that part, and I was ashamed of myself. I was ashamed. If there is any other word that could express this deeper than the word ashamed, I'm looking for it. Because what? At one point, I was at the point of doubt. Why? Mais pourquoi? You cannot say this to the doctor. You cannot say this to your mom. You cannot say this to any person around you that has the knowledge. But you come and say it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's time to really look deeper into your heart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you the answer. أنا عند ظن عبدي بي. I am exactly, or I am at the point, or the same image that you expect me to be. This is the point where we'd come to the transition point. Nobody will do it for you, because nobody would see it. Nobody would come and open your heart and tell you, hey, you trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Allah sees it. Why? One of his names, Al-Alim, the all-knower. Now if I asked you what's behind this wall, nobody would know. Nobody would tell me what's behind this wall. No, nobody. Nobody on earth would, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will. So, it's the point, not around you, in your heart. Find it. Find the meaning of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your heart. Find who is Allah to you. This would give you the understanding, will take you to the third person that will help you go through each and everything in life, every event in life, smiling, knowing that Allah is more compassionate and more merciful on you, more than your own mother, more than anyone on earth. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم وسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب وخطيئة. I prefer to stop at this point. So Jazakumullah khair for your presence, Jazakumullah khair for your time, and I wish that I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that makes this time and all the people in this place, that as He gathered us here, He gathers in Jannah. As He gathers us here to make us from those who He mentioned in the Quran, and when He said, Inna Allah yuhibbul mutawakkilin, to really make us among these people, among the mutawakkilin. Jazakumullah khair. Barakallahu feekum.